Jacob had a very lonely and depressing life. His entire life, he had been in and out of foster homes, never finding a place where he felt like he belonged. Why? Because he had to start again after being moved to a different household the moment a glimmer of love or compassion for his foster parents appeared in his heart. The idea of abandoning our normal lives and beginning over makes our hearts shudder, even as adults. But for as long as he could remember, little Jacob had been doing it. He could make his own toast for breakfast, fold his clothes, make his bed, and put his toys away once he finished playing with them, just like any other adolescent at 6. Life had never been simple for Jacob. The child had come to terms with the fact that his desire of having a loving family would probably never materialize, and in a sense, fate had forced him to become independent. This also applied to Jacob's new foster home. He was considerably younger than the other children and the youngest in the family. Jacob was really unhappy and upset because the bigger guys didn't like him and didn't involve him in anything. Seeing kids celebrate their birthdays was the one thing that brought Jacob joy. The other 3 kids in his foster family, Hudson, Caleb, and Roman, had all celebrated their birthdays. They had enjoyed themselves and received gifts from the guests. Jacob had previously been in foster homes, but this one was different. Back there, he had never witnessed a birthday celebration or anything else. However, Jacob was hopeful that his birthday would be honored and that he would get presents because of his new home. Clara and Andrew, Jacob's new foster parents, were also considerably different from his previous foster parents. Clara always held Jacob's hand, smiled, and prayed with him before they ate supper together every night as part of his new family. Jacob enjoyed his new residence. It was not the worst, but it was also not the finest. There, he might live contentedly and never experience loneliness again. However, he quickly discovered that nobody in his new family genuinely cared about him. The older guys in the home started to bully him when he made an effort to make friends with them. They called him names, made fun of him, and assured him that he would never be adopted, accepted into a loving family, or have a fulfilling life. Jacob was homeschooled as Andrew and Clara were unable to pay for his education. Consequently, Jacob was unable to leave the house and was never given the chance to form friendships. Jacob once sat by himself, sobbing and clutching his knees. He was suddenly touched on the shoulder by a comforting hand. He noticed that it was Clara as he glanced up. She said, "Hey, what's up? Are you upset about something?" Jacob brushed away his tears and nodded. The words, "Nobody loves me," he cried. "Roman, Caleb, and Hudson despise me. They claim that I will never find a loving home and that no one loves me. Everyone despises me." She groaned and put her arms around him. "Oh," she said. "That isn't true. No. You see, you'll have the most lovely family and all the affection in the world one day. You shouldn't believe what other people say, Jacob. Good kids like you need love, not tears, and you're a beautiful lad." In the end, Jacob discovered that Hudson, Caleb, and Roman were correct all along, even if Clara somehow comforted him that day. Clara and Andrew were talking about how none of the prospective adoptive parents were interested in adopting Jacob when Jacob overheard them talking. Feeling devastated, Jacob rushed back to his room and sobbed for hours. He believed that he would always be in foster care, that no one loved him, and that he would eventually have to leave Clara as well and start again, just like he had always had to. Jacob woke up feeling sad on his birthday. He was aware that Clara was the only member of his new family who truly cared about him, but he hoped that day would be different. He assumed that since he had witnessed his family honor the birthdays of the elder brothers, they would also honor his own. In the hopes of seeing a giant birthday cake, presents, and everyone waiting to wish him a happy birthday, the young kid ran excitedly down the stairs and into the living room. However, when he realized that Clara was the only person in the living room, Jacob came to a complete halt. A tiny baked cake was placed on the table with a lit candle, and she stood by herself with a humble grin. "Happy birthday, little boy." She took him in her arms and made him seat at the table while chirping. "Now make a wish and cut the cake." Where has everyone else gone?" Jacob questioned, looking around with tears in his eyes. "You slept for too long, sweetie. Clara replied, feigning regret. They all left for their schools, and Andrew had some urgent work. With a mournful expression on his face, Jacob added, "It's just the two of us." "Yes," answered Clara cheerfully, "and we get to celebrate the birthday of the most wonderful boy together. Come on, cut the cake and make a wish." Jacob blew out the flame after making a wish, his lips trembling and tears streaming down his face, that he wanted a family that would love and care for him. Before serving him breakfast, Clara gave him a slice of cake and wished him a happy birthday. Clara requested Jacob to go out and play after he completed his meal, saying she had some work to do. Jacob gathered his toys and walked to his room. At that moment, a thought came to him. He ran to the backyard with only his favorite toys. He made the decision to celebrate his own birthday. After spreading a blanket and setting his toys on it, Jacob positioned the cake in the center. He scrawled "Happy Birthday" on paper and taped it to the wall because he was a bad writer. Jacob was dismayed to see that his decorations lacked the excitement he had hoped for. Nobody was singing "Happy Birthday" to him. There were no visitors, and there were no party poppers. Jacob was depressed and lonely at the end of the day. He had made an effort to organize a birthday party, but he was still by himself, devoid of affection, embraces, or well wishes. Then everything was destroyed by a powerful wind. The cake was shattered, the toys were strewn, and the message fell. Jacob broke down in tears. Sobbing, "I hate my life," he said. "I detest everything. I am not loved by anyone." With his cuddly toy by his side, Jacob ran home and slumped into the stairs in the living room. He sobbed uncontrollably and buried his face in his knees. Once again, his birthday had been uneventful. The elder brothers were correct. No one would ever adore him. He would also never be welcomed into a family. Jacob was crying uncontrollably since his birthday celebration had been a complete bust when he heard a kind voice reaching out to him. "Happy birthday, son," it responded. When Jacob looked up, he sniffed and saw a lovely guy and a pretty woman standing in his home's doorway. They clutched a box with a large bow and multiple balloon strings. Clara grinned as she stood next to them. "Oh God, why are you crying, honey?" the woman inquired in concern. "Are you okay?" Jacob stood up and moved out of their line. When it was time for him to go to a new foster family, the first thing he recalled were the smiling social workers who constantly came to see him. He was afraid that Clara, the one person who truly cared about him, would be taken away from him by these people. Did you just call me son?" Jacob questioned her. Who are you?" The woman approached Jacob with a grin. "Well, that's a surprise," she said with a giggle as she turned to face the unidentified man. She then dropped down in front of Jacob and said, "Isn't it your birthday today? We want to be a part of your happiness." She handed him the box with the large bow on top and said, "Here, open it." He took the box and said, "This is for me?" She gave a nod. "You may open it now. You'll discover." A sheet of paper that had stiffened was inside the box when Jacob opened it. Homeschooled and lacking in reading skills, Jacob started sobbing as he realized the meaning of the letters at the top of the hardened sheet. He cried, You are my mother. This is the first time I've ever had a real one." Jacob sobbed uncontrollably and flung himself into her arms. "Oh, darling," she said, putting her arms around him tenderly and giving him a back pat. "Everything is okay. It's okay. My spouse's name is Eric and my name is Pearl. Having you as our son is a huge blessing." In her arms, Pearl could feel the quivering of Jacob's little body. Withdrawing from him, she dabbed at his tears. "Yes, you are my little boy, and I am your mother. Jacob, we are grateful that you entered our life. You are our beloved young son. Do you love me?" Jacob glanced at Pearl and then at Eric before asking. Eric smiled. He leaped, "Of course we do, little man," and joined Pearl. "Of all the children we encountered, you were our choice. You are our son." Jacob was nearly incredulous. He had no idea that his birthday desire would be fulfilled so quickly. The elder children had returned from school by then and were startled to discover the commotion inside their home. "What's going on?" Glancing at Pearl and Clara, Caleb inquired. Clara joyfully told the boys that Jacob had been adopted. They weren't prepared for him to discover such a caring family, so they were taken aback. Clara expressed her hope that Jacob's life would improve and reminded them that they hadn't been very kind to him. When Jacob arrived at his new house that same day, his grandparents, siblings, and devoted parents welcomed him. He was overjoyed when his birthday was honored with a large cake and loads of affection.